2025. And once again, Washington has turned up the heat. New tariffs, higher taxes on imports. Your groceries? More expensive. Your business supplies? Delayed and overpriced. And your savings? Shrinking with every headline. You didn't vote for this squeeze, but you feel it. Every single day. At the gas pump, at the checkout counter, on your credit card bill. And while the politicians argue, you're left with the real battle. How do you stay calm when your world feels like it's collapsing? How do you keep your mind strong when the economy is shaking under your feet? In this video, we'll go deep into the Stoic stories that taught ancient people how to survive chaos, and how you can use them right now in 2025 to take back control, even when the system feels broken. Stay with me, because in the next minutes, you'll learn not just how to survive the storm, but how to grow stronger through it. Take a breath. Sit with me, grab a cup of coffee, and let's get started. The news hit like a thunderclap. President Trump signs new tariff law, major taxes on imports from China, Mexico, and EU effective immediately. For millions, it was just another headline. But for Carlos Rivera, a 42-year-old auto parts supplier from Ohio, it was a ticking bomb. His small business, built over 15 years, depended on affordable imported parts. And now, overnight, his costs were about to skyrocket. Carlos had weathered storms before: the 2008 crash, the pandemic, supply chain messes. But this one felt different, deeper, more personal, because this time, it wasn't a virus or a market bubble. It was a decision made in Washington by people who would never step foot in his modest warehouse. The first signs of trouble within days, Carlos's main distributor called. "Prices are going up 25% starting next week," the voice said flatly. "Tariffs, man. Sorry." Carlos's hands trembled as he did the math. That was enough to wipe out his profit margin, maybe even push him into the red. By Friday, 3 of his long-term clients hinted they might explore cheaper options. His stomach clenched. His chest felt tight. At night, he stared at the ceiling, the same thoughts running loops in his brain. What if I lose the business? How will I pay my mortgage? What about my kids' college? Why is this happening to me? His wife, Maribel, noticed the change. "You're somewhere else lately," she said gently over dinner. Carlos forced a smile, but inside it felt like he was drowning. His phone fed the anxiety. Every scroll brought new fear. Layoffs spike as tariffs bite. Small businesses on the brink. Recession fears grow. At 3 a.m., Carlos found himself on YouTube, searching for answers. That's when he stumbled on a video titled Stoic Stories: How Ancient Wisdom Can Save You in Modern Chaos. He almost skipped it, but something about the title pulled him in. A lesson from Marcus. The narrator's calm voice read a quote from Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Carlos paused. The words echoed in his chest. He clicked on another Stoic story, then another. Stories about people in history, emperors, slaves, soldiers, who faced loss, chaos, and uncertainty, but didn't crumble. It wasn't about pretending things were fine. It was about focusing on what they could actually control. The next morning, Carlos did something he hadn't done in months. He sat with a notebook and wrote down 2 columns. Column 1, what I can't control: tariffs and government policies, rising prices from suppliers, whether clients leave news headlines. Column 2, what I can control: how I communicate with my clients, how I manage costs inside the business, my daily routine and mindset, my response, not the event. That simple act, separating the noise from the actionable, felt like breathing fresh air after weeks underwater. Instead of doom scrolling, Carlos called each of his clients personally. "Look," he told them honestly, "the tariffs are real, prices will change. But I'm committed to finding solutions with you, maybe new suppliers, maybe bundled discounts." Two clients appreciated the honesty and agreed to work through it together. One left, and Carlos let it go. Next, he spoke with his team. He was upfront about the challenges, but asked for ideas to cut waste and improve operations. For the first time in months, his staff felt engaged, not fearful. Carlos also started waking up 30 minutes earlier, reading short passages from Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Not because it was trendy, but because it grounded him when the storm inside threatened to rise again. By summer, the landscape was still tough. Prices stayed high. The economy wobbled. Some neighbors' businesses closed, but Carlos's shop was still standing. Leaner, yes. Quieter, yes, but alive. And inside, something else had shifted. He no longer measured success by avoiding pain or guaranteeing security, but by showing up each day, doing what he could, and letting go of what he couldn't. At a neighborhood BBQ, a friend asked him, "Man, with all this chaos, how are you staying sane?" Carlos smiled. "Stoic stories, my friend. Old wisdom. Turns out it still works." The Stoic takeaway. This wasn't a fairy tale ending. Tariffs remained. Business stayed challenging. Carlos still had nights of doubt, but he learned what the Stoics knew 2,000 years ago. You can't predict policy shifts, market crashes, or client decisions, but you can control your focus, your effort, and your attitude. The real battle isn't in Washington or Beijing. It's inside your own mind. And victory isn't about avoiding pain. It's about meeting it with courage, clarity, and calm. If you're reading this in 2025, feeling squeezed by rising costs, unstable policies, or an economy that feels out of control, take a breath, grab a piece of paper, write down what you can't control and what you can. Focus everything on the second list, because as Marcus Aurelius would remind you, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The storm will rage. Tariffs will come and go. Leaders will change. But your mind, that's your domain. And when you claim it back, you'll find strength, just like Carlos did. If this story sparked something in you, a quiet fire, a moment of stillness, or the courage to take one step closer to who you really are, then you're in the right place. We're building a space for thinkers, dreamers, and doers, for those who seek depth in a world full of noise. And if that sounds like you, hit the like button, drop a comment to share your thoughts or your own story. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, because this is just the beginning. There's so much more to come. See you in the next one.